Happy Saturday, everyone, and happy birthday, Tyler Greenwood. I hope you have a fantastic day. This is going to make it a little extra special. Definitely a little extra special. There's some challenge here. But before we get to that, let's talk about our workout, or our warm-up. Our warm-up is going to consist of a nice little lower body set. We have a good morning for 3 to 5, single leg RDL, 3 to 5 per side, windmill, and 3 to 5 per side, foot assist pistol, 3 to 5 per side, and then bring it all together into Kang Squat for 3 to 5. So lots of 3 to 5 per sides. Give yourself the dose of each of these exercises that you need for yourself. This is a great little chunk to help develop the squat and really work on some of that hinging and squatting mechanic work. So take advantage, zero in on what you want to work on here, and have fun with it. We have 1 to 2 rounds here. Even a third round is not a bad thing, depending on how you're feeling today. And we'll move down here to the bottom piece. We're going to focus on our heel tap of 10 seconds, our ankle pop for 10 seconds, and we go right into some skipping for 20 seconds, or some sort of hopping variation that's going to help build some skipping mechanics, or just some agility and some of that good old coordination work. So it's going to be a fun time there. Then we're going to move into some heel elevated goblet squats, 3 to 5, or just a regular goblet squat if you don't have anything for heel elevation. Dumbbell tempo front squat, 3 at 3, 1, 3, and then a dumbbell thruster of 1 to 3 reps to kind of start warming that up a little bit for what's to come in the workout. Now the workout today is an ascending ladder. So we're going up, right? We're going up in reps today, so be prepared for this. What we have is 50 double unders, 10 thrusters with the dumbbell, 75 double unders, 15 dumbbell thrusters, and then we have 100 double unders and 20 dumbbell thrusters. So it's a little spicy. It's going to get a little bit intense near the end. We can experiment with a slightly heavier thruster today, but you should have the ability, I'd say, to take down anywhere from 5 to 7 reps at a time with this load that you can move consistently, we'll say. Not 5 to 7 one time and then smaller sets, but 5 to 7 consistently. And that will allow you to take these down in no more than 3 to 4 sets throughout your work set. So challenging little work set. I hope you guys have fun with this. We will have different options for the double under in your workout description, so check that out. And we're going to get you warmed up and ready for action right now. All right, you guys, let's get our feet under those hips. Let's take those arms big and tall up overhead. We're just going to get a little reach, little side bend. We're going to come back through and reach to the other side, little side bend. Come back up the center, forward fold. Nice forward fold action here, touching those toes. Walk up those shins, nice flat back as we come down. Framing a foot, we'll step back into your lizard. We're going to lower the back knee down, press that hip down, and we're going to open up with that outside hand. And from here, we're going to come back down with that hand, press the hip, come back through, outside hand, lowering down, press that hip, come through, outside hand. Plant that hand down, grip the floor, straighten out the leg, step her back into the down dog. Reaching through those hips, let's walk those heels nice and slow, nice and steady, nice and tight. There are those calves. Just a little bit. Come back through, nice plank position. We'll step that other foot up. Nice and square in those hips. We'll lower the back knee, press the hip. Come through, outside hand, reaches up. We'll come back down. Press the hip, come through, outside hand, come back down, press the hip, come through, outside hand. Good. Plant that hand, straighten out the back leg, step her back again. Let's wake up those calves again a little bit. So walk those heels out, nice and slow. Just really feeling out the legs a bit. Okay, we'll come back into our plank, pressing the floor away. Tiptoeing those feet all the way up. We're going to roll ourselves up, big stretch. Good, little reach. Little reach. Come down with those hands. Let's rock and roll, everyone. Let's have some fun today. Now, if you have any extra movement you'd like to do for yourself to get yourself prepped and ready, please pause the video, take that down now. I'm going to get you fired up on that work set that's coming your way. I'm going to get you guys prepped for what's to come. Feet, nice and solid. We are going to work on a good, strong stance for some good mornings. The stance, your call. We can go hip width or narrow. We can go squat stance, you can go sumo stance, whatever you'd like to take down. Seeing as though I'm in the sumo stance right now, I'm gonna take them down from the sumo stance. Regardless of the stance, the hinge mechanics are the same. You'll feel each position in different kind of areas of the body, but the mechanics are the same. So keep that in mind as we're flowing through this. We're nice and tall. I'm gonna get that hand reference ready. I'm gonna pull my hips back to the back wall, softening those knees as I feel those hamstrings say hello. And then I'm gonna stand up nice and tall and upright to open up those hips. I'm gonna again draw those hips back into that hinge, and then I'm gonna stand up nice and tall, opening up at that top position. Now you can play with one stance, you can play with multiple stances, that's up to you, but it's gonna be a nice way to start opening up that hinge pattern, opening up those hips and hamstrings a bit before we start tackling the rest of our work set. Our next exercise is going to be our RDL. So we're going to work a single leg RDL. Toe is going to be down as a kickstand so that we can really focus our attention on the hamstring and keeping those hips square. So those hips are square to the front, and pretend like I'm holding a dumbbell, or you could hold a dumbbell. We're going to draw the hip back in the same hinge pattern we just used. As we draw the hip back, we're going to come down to the knee and then stand up nice and tall. So again, we're going to check the hips at the top of each lift. We're going to draw the hips back, staying as square as we can, taking it to the knee, and standing tall in that open position for that RDL. Now these are very solid. I want you to keep them slow and steady, not rushing through them, so you can really feel the balance, feel the pressure into the floor through that flat foot, through those laces, but at the same time keeping that big toe down. Our next phase is going to come out to a nice sumo stance again, and we're going to work on a windmill. So we're going to take one hand down to the floor, one hand up to the sky, and we're going to pull the hip back into that same hinge we were working in the good morning, and then we're going to rotate at the low rib, bringing the hand as far down as we feel comfortable. So if we're okay touching the floor, touch the floor. If you're not, don't touch the floor, just take it to where you can. Reaching that arm up high to the sky, you can do 3 to 5 per side, or we can alternate and go back and forth for 6 to 10 reps, alternating back and forth. So keep that in mind as we're going through this work set. It's up to you on how you want to take that down. Again, not a fast movement. We're not looking at rushing that rotation. We're really looking at exploring that hinge plus rotation through that low rib, really focusing on that shoulder. So there's a lot going on. Pick 1 or 2 things to focus on. Move slow and steady. Our next exercise, we're going to come back to that hip width stance. Now you turn profile again. We're going to go back to that foot assist pistol. And for today, even if you go like foot off the ground, all that kind of stuff, it's really early in the warm-up, so let's put that foot down on the floor and use that kickstand. So our hip is nice and square to the front. We're going to draw our hip down towards our heel, keeping the weight over that front leg, and then we're going to push through that balancing leg fully. So again, trying to stay nice and solid over that foot as we load the front leg to the max that we can. Keeping as little weight out of this leg as we can so that we focus our attention to the working leg. And just use the kickstand leg as an assistance factor to get us out of the bottom and or to help us with balance. Once we've done 3 to 5 per side, we're going to move into our Kang Squats. We're going to join the hinge and the squat mechanics together. So we're going to get ourselves set up in our squat stance, nice, tall, and upright. I'm going to pull into my good morning, so working on that nice, tight back position. Once I feel my hamstrings, I'm going to pull my hips towards my heels, sitting nice and tall and upright, keeping those knees trapped in the toes, and then going to push back into that good morning and stand tall. Really focusing on opening up that hip position. We're taking our time in that hinge and then pulling our hips through our ankles. It's not literally going through our ankles, but we want to really try and push that engagement so that we're really opening up that hip, ankle, and knee as much as we can to help for our squats later on. Now, as a quick recap, we have a good morning for 3 to 5, single leg RDL, 3 to 5 per side, windmill, 3 to 5 per side, or 6 to 10, alternating back and forth, foot assist pistol for 3 to 5 a side, and a Kang Squat for 3 to 5 reps, nice and smooth, hitting all those good positions all the way through. Now originally I said 1 to 2 rounds, but if you want to throw a third round in there, be my guest. It's a nice way to warm things up, slowly and steadily for that squat. Pause the video, take it down. We're gonna start moving through some skill work with some skipping and some thruster work. But until then, get yourself ready, come back and join me. All right, everyone, we're back with some nice heel tap actions. We're gonna work on some skipping mechanics and fundamentals. So our feet are gonna come together, toes and heels. We're gonna keep them together the entire time. We're gonna keep our ribs tight, we're gonna bring our shoulders up to the ears, and we're gonna let those arms relax and just hang beside our body. Keeping our core engaged, but again, keeping those arms relaxed. And I'm gonna quickly tap my heels up and down. Now I'm really trying to stay balanced between the big toe and the pinky toe, and I'm really trying to focus on that nice fast tap. Now, if I go to my pinkies, I'm gonna have a slower kind of motion because I'm gonna be rolling to the outside, and I'm not gonna be as stable as I could be if I'm just staying that nice balanced foot with the big and the pinky toe. Now after that, we're gonna move right into an ankle pop. So from there, from those taps, we're gonna pull the hands up as if I was gonna put them in my pockets, but we're gonna leave them out hanging just nice and relaxed. And we're gonna get this natural kind of flick as we jump. We don't have to fight it, nor do we have to force it. We just let it happen. And we prevent our arms from going all over the place and just keep them in this nice straight path, okay? So our hands are hanging, I get this nice bounce, and I work through that nice jump, nice and easy, working on that nice little flick. I relax those arms while keeping my core tight, and I relax that core and my ankles to let that, I relax those knees and my ankles, keep the core tight. As I let that rebound happen naturally. So we want to allow our body to do what it does and allow those pieces to do what they do to strengthen them and to build some endurance in that skip. Once we're done with the ankle pop of 10 seconds, we're going to pick up our skipping rope and we're going to work on some skipping, working on the same kind of mechanics we just practiced, same kind of arm position we just practiced for our ankle pop, and we're going to work on some good steady singles. And if you don't have a rope or space to skip at home, you can work on a dumbbell lateral jump over, skip over, step over. You could work on some in-out hops like we used yesterday in our warm-up. Just something that's going to allow us to work on a little bit of hopping. I also like, if you have a line or something at home, you can work on some agility work, jumping forward and back over top of the line, not trying to touch the line as you go. But that's also a fun little drill you can play with. I have a lot of my sports teams do that just to work on some footwork and have some fun. Just kind of play around with that a little bit, change it up. So 20 seconds of that. Again, we're just kind of settling into a pretty good pace to work on posture and position. And then we're gonna move into some squat stuff. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna work a heel elevated goblet squat or a goblet squat. So if you don't have something you can lift your heels up with in the squat, that's okay. Do a flat-footed regular squat. If you do, we're going to put our feet up on that edge. So the edge of the plate is where my laces are. So I have a nice midfoot kind of balance point in the arch where that lip is. My big toe, pinky toe are on the floor. My heels are up, but I'm centered in my balance. What I want to do is push into this dumbbell. I'm going to pull the hips down, working that nice smooth squat, staying as upright as I can. Balance through the big toe and the pinky toe, and stand up nice and tall. So we're going to work on that nice pull and that nice push. So a nice smooth drive through that flow. Now this heel elevation is going to want to push you forward. You have to fight the urge of pushing forward and going too far counterbalance backwards and really focus on those mid feet. Okay? From there, we're going to move into a tempo front squat. So I'm going to take my feet off of the plate. I'm going to clean the dumbbells up to my shoulder or dumbbell. I'm going to set my feet up in my natural squat stance. And the tempo is going to be a 3, 2, 1. 1 second pause. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to move slow down, pause, slow up. In the squat, we're drawing our hips to our heels. My knees are going to track the toe. Push through those legs, trying to rise up with my hip and shoulder together in that good posture. So everything going down together, everything coming up together. Now this is gonna set the groundwork for our thruster, because with a good front squat will come good mechanics for a thruster, or getting that bar overhead in the most efficient way possible. So once we've done our 3 to 5 tempo front squats, you have your choice of doing 1 to 3 thrusters. Now the thruster will draw to that good front squat, big drive through the legs, and we'll push through the arm to get the dumbbell moving. So you'll notice as I come out of the bottom of the squat, that dumbbell gets some lift before I start even pressing or thinking about pressing with my arm. So watch the dumbbell as I come down, big drive, the dumbbell has some lift, I finish the momentum off with a big push overhead, and I come back down. And you're gonna work on anywhere from 1 to 3 reps of that thruster, depending on how you're feeling. As you get closer to the work set, you might start to change out some of those tempo front squats for a few more thruster reps to get yourself in the zone, feel out your weight to make sure you're happy with the load you're using for the workout, and then when you're ready to go, start that workout. So as a quick recap, we have a heel tap of 10 seconds, right into ankle pop of 10 seconds, 20 seconds of skipping. Heel elevated goblet squat of 3 to 5 reps, working on good squat mechanics and that upper body kind of engagement. Dumbbell tempo front squat for 3 to 5 reps at a 3-1-3 tempo, and then 1 to 3 dumbbell thrusters to start figuring out working load and getting that good overhead position moving through that front squat. Pause the video, take that down, give yourself 2, 3, maybe 4 rounds to get yourself fired up for this, to get yourself practiced up in those double unders or skipping, and then tackle that work set, have some fun. So let's talk about our workout, and we'll turn you loose. All right, everyone, we got a doozy. We got an ascending ladder for Mr. Tyler Greenwood's birthday today. We got 50, 75, 100 double unders. Then we have 10, 15, 20 dumbbell thrusters. So it's gonna get a little spicy at the end. The big thing here, dig deep, work on sets that you can maintain kind of consistent, steady paces with. Try not to go out too hot in that first round, all right? Maybe in this work set, if you're going a little heavier, maybe fight the urge of going 10 straight unbroken thrusters and maybe break it down into 5 and 5 to save yourself a little bit of energy near the end of the work set. If you're feeling good, go for it, have some fun, but work on a pace that you don't gas yourself out too soon in this workout, because it does get more intensive. And we do have to think about the quality of our ability to skip doing double unders or single unders. If we get too tired, we might start catching our feet or off our rhythm and make those skipping a little bit more challenging. So make sure that we are paying attention to our body and our tempo. This is a really fun little gasser. It's not gonna take very long, but I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you have a fun time with this one. It's a good closer to the week to get you guys fired up for the weekend. Tyler, have a fantastic birthday. I hope you have a special day and a special weekend. Enjoy it a ton, all right? To everyone out there, work for quality, have a ton of fun. We'll see you back on Monday for some more fun programming.